All right, speaking of quarterbacks that have made an immediate impact, we got to talk about the true freshman phenom, Dylan Raiola at Nebraska.
Mm.
Talk to me about how he started so far in his first two games and what that meant to Nebraska's program by getting a guy like that and having him start.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're going to need two pairs of sunglasses. The future's so bright there in Lincoln, and good for them, man. They've been wandering around lost for so long. It's such a storied and tradition program. It's great for the game when Nebraska's relevant, just like with Miami. We can sit here and talk about his arm talent, his ability, to hit every layer of the defense, whether it be the short game, intermediate, the deep third. We can talk about his ability to throw off platform, rolling right, rolling left, extending the play in the pocket, extending the play outside of the pocket. And he's doing all that. And if you're going to cosplay as anybody as a quarterback, Patrick Mahomes is a great guy to cosplay at. I don't think that's an insult when people say it. I think it's a compliment. But I think the thing that stands out to me the most about Dylan is his maturity as a player. You can tell that he was raised in a football family. You can tell that he's been around offensive linemen too, because he understands the importance of what's going on in front of him. Because it's not just about understanding the route combination, obviously. It's not just understanding, hey, I probably need to throw the check down here, probably need to throw the ball away. He understands protections. He knows what he's doing, and it takes so much pressure off the other guys because they realize his football IQ. It's reverse Peyton Thorne. Like, you got a freshman that his IQ and mentality during the game is like a senior. Everything is slower for him as opposed to everything still being sped up and looking like Panic and Skywalker out there at quarterback, like we see in other spots. But he's just the complete package as a player. You don't hear him saying anything crazy in the media, right? He never really makes it about himself. He understands how this game works at a very, very high level. And he also has that quiet confidence that I know I can make every throw, but that doesn't mean I got to go out there and put our guys in a bad situation. And you get him for 3. You can only have him for 3 years, but you get him for 3. So everybody's going to talk about his physical ability and his wiggle. He's a little bit quicker than what he looks like. And we talked about extending the play, but I think it's his maturity at such a young level that not only shows itself on game day, but I think it relaxes everybody else. Because I don't know if you've noticed, Nebraska guys are making plays on offense they haven't made in a while. You weren't getting that last year because they were just hoping to God Jeff Sims could catch a snap. So if you're a Nebraska fan, man, what a time to be alive.
Speaking of Nebraska's supporting cast, right now we see Nebraska recruiting at a very high level. So they first of all, they got a 5-star quarterback already. They were really close for a 5-star offensive tackle, David Sanders. Michael Terry, 5-star out of Texas. They're really close on him. What is Matt Rhule doing to kind of speed the process up to the point where we thought Nebraska was going to be in the doldrums for years? You already got your 5-star guy, and he's recruiting more 5-stars. What is Matt Rhule selling to the top talent in the country?
Well, I think Matt Rhule's genuine, man. I mean, I think it's the same thing you hear when he gives these pregame speeches. Like, when do pregame speeches really hit the hardest? Not just when somebody's yelling. Anybody can go in there and yell. It's when you're really, really talking to somebody, not at somebody. And you can't trick an 18-year-old. I always laugh in recruiting. I mean, even when I was in it, and I was kind of a younger guy, you'd have these 45-year-old men come into high school and act like they're MGK or something. Like a 17 or 18-year-old can't smell a rat. That they can see fake better than anybody. You want to know why? They see it every day in the hallway. Like it's high school. Take yourself back to high school. It's nothing but fakery. So I always used to laugh too and people I respect and used to say, well, look at Nebraska's location. Well, man, if this was 1814, maybe, but like we got planes and like the ability to go, like if that's the case, no, man, Hawaii, nobody would ever gone there. Like it I never agreed with that. But Nebraska's a place that even kids nowadays understand what football means to that state. And even kids nowadays, there's nothing cooler to an 18-year-old than to make something cool again. Why do you think fashion cycles always happen? Yeah, man, Georgia's been cool for a minute. Bama's been cool for even longer. Ohio State, all of that. You know what's cool? Let's turn Nebraska into a monster again. So what I think you're seeing is Matt Rhule's got a great combination going. You got a golden egg place that has a ton of tradition and passion and loyalty that are going to show up. Look at the sellouts every single week. You got the facilities, you got the NIL money, and now you got a guy that can go in there and look right at an 18-year-old, because really you're talking to the parents or you're talking to the guardian. That's how you really recruit. Not that you don't talk to the kid, but most of the time the kid ain't making the decision, believe it or not. Sometimes they are, sometimes they say they are, but they're not. You're talking to the parent, and you're asking that parent for their most prized possession in the world. There's nothing you can sit down in a living room and ask for that is worth more than their child's life. And you're asking for 3, 4, 5, heck, nowadays, maybe even 8 years of that child's life. So you can't go in there and be fake and just say all these good things and it's never going to be bad. I think Matt Rhule has gotten this coaching staff to really swim in one direction of, we're Nebraska. We got to make sure we go in there and be confident as Nebraska, but we also got to be genuine. I think it's not a trick. It's being real. It's actually easier than trying to trick somebody. So that's where I think Matt's different, man.